Bienvenue. Welcome to Coffee Talk with King Francois I, where we will discover the tales, trials, and talents of Renaissance Festival performers, merchants, and die-hard attendees as we journey by way of light-hearted and even at times heartwarming conversations about the Renaissance Festival world. I am your host, Theodore Jander, aka King Francois I. Bonjour. Welcome to Coffee Talk with King Francois I. I am your host, Theodore Jander. In this episode, 2024's Festivals Installment 5, I will be highlighting the upcoming 2024 Renaissance festivals here in the US, Canada, and overseas, with their names and upcoming September dates. Before we begin our September Ren Fest outing, I share the following coffee-related joke. Why did it take the bean so long to do its homework? Because it was procaffeinating. As was done for the show notes of similar previous episodes, I am including the website address and full run dates for the mentioned festivals. Since I am shifting to producing these festival highlight episodes to once a month, I encourage you to listen to episode 37 to find out which events started in August and go through September, as well as a few into October, as I will be jumping right into the festivals starting in September. So, grab a cup of your favorite Java, sit back and enjoy this episode of Coffee Talk with King Francois I and installment 5 of 2024's Festivals. We begin with festivals opening the weekend of September 6th through 8th. First up is the Upstate Renaissance Faire in Greer, South Carolina, open September 6th and 7th only. This fair began in 2021 in an attempt to revitalize small businesses after the 2020 pandemic. Needless to say, the event was successful with over 10,000 attending that first year. If you have a ready passport and a fast plane, as it were, an option for you would be an overseas trip to Cambridge, England for the one-day only Stourbridge Medieval Fair on Saturday, September 7th. The following two festivals are one weekend only events, which take place on September 7th through 8th. The Franklin Renaissance Fair in Franklin, New Hampshire, and the Harvest Fair in Smithfield, Virginia, which is fashioned after a medieval-style fall festival. We remain on the East Coast on the weekends of September 7th through 22nd for the Sparta, New Jersey Renaissance Festival in, you guessed it, Sparta, New Jersey, as well as for the 4F Renaissance Festival in Danielsville, Georgia. However, this event does run one weekend longer to September 29th. If you are wondering, the 4F stands for the Family Fun Friendly Festival or Family Fun Fantasy Festival. Our next several festivals open the weekend of September 14th and 15th. We travel to Marseilles, Illinois, or as I'm sure most would say, Marseilles, Illinois, for the one-day only Marseilles Renaissance Fair on September 14th. Presented for one weekend only, the following 5 festivals provide an abundance of merriment. Our first option is the Magpie Renaissance Fair in Three Forks, Montana, where one can experience an historically inspired period marketplace of artisans, craftspeople, and dreamers. We can make our way to the Old Dominion Fantasy and Medieval Fair located in Goode, Virginia, or be transported back to the days of Queen Elizabeth I for the inaugural Old Falls Elizabethan Renaissance Fair in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. Located in Santa Fe, New Mexico, our fourth option is the Santa Fe Renaissance Fair, where we can encounter Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand and the Kingdom of Golondrinas for a Spanish-inspired fair. And lastly, we can venture north to Monmouth, Oregon for the Shrewsbury Renaissance Fair. The upcoming two festivals open September 14th, with the first one mentioned running through October 22nd, and the latter running through October 27th. Set in the village of Willingtown, we head to Hollister, California for the Northern California Renaissance Fair. Or we can step back in time to the 16th century French village of Petit Lyon for the 26th season of the St. Louis Renaissance Festival located in Wentzville, Missouri. I also happen to have on good authority that they are really excited about the royal family presenting a recently newly discovered artifact. Just saying. The ensuing events open for either one day only or for one weekend only, September 20th through 22nd. Started in 2020 by Raquela Peck as her senior year high school project, the now annual Central Idaho Renaissance Fair in Cary, Idaho, opens for one weekend only on September 20th and 21st. A side note about this festival: the proceeds from this event will be put toward scholarships for those looking to study history, performing arts, or literature education. The Maddock Rural Renaissance Festival, located in Maddock, North Dakota, is also a destination that Friday through Sunday. Open for one day only, September 21st, our third and fourth options are the Greenville Renaissance Fair in Greenville, Michigan, or we can travel a little further north to Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, and the magical Kingdom of Mirth for the Royal Medieval Fair. Again, an opportunity to utilize your passport, this time for the Queanbeyan Medieval Fair in Queanbeyan, New South Wales, Australia, on the Saturday and Sunday of this same weekend. Or remain stateside for the Robin Hood Renaissance Fair in Spring Creek, Nevada. The final weekend of September 27th through 29th sees several Renaissance festivals opening for either one day, one weekend, or extending into October. On Friday and Saturday, September 27th and 28th, we can travel to Carlsbad, New Mexico for the Cavern City Renaissance Festival. Desiring another Spanish-flavored festival? Look no further than the Idlewild Renaissance Fair, September 27th through 29th, located in Idlewild, California, and set during the reign of Elizabeth of Valois, Queen Consort of Philip II of Spain. Also taking place Friday through Sunday of September's final weekend, we can venture back north to Thorndale, Ontario, Canada for the Oxford Renaissance Festival. Next up are three one-day-only events occurring September 28th for the first two mentioned and September 29th for the third. We can either travel to Middleton, Wisconsin for the inaugural Middleton Renaissance Fair, to Bidwell, Ohio for their inaugural Rio Renaissance Fair, or to Boalsburg, Pennsylvania for the third annual Boalsburg Renaissance Fair. Following are 6 festivals open for one weekend only, and that being September 28th and 29th. We start with a trip to Carnation, Washington, stepping back in time to 1376 Somersetshire, England, for the Camlin Michaelmas Festival. Taking place with Clayshire Castle as the backdrop, and yes, it is a real castle in which you can book a room. The Clayshire Castle Medieval Fair, located in Bowling Green, Indiana, is our second option. Thirdly, we find Queen Elizabeth I presiding over the Folsom Renaissance Fair in Folsom, California. With a similar event in the spring, we can partake of the autumnal offering of the Great Plains Renaissance Festival in Wichita, Kansas. Our fifth option brings us to Davenport, Iowa for the Greater Quad Cities Renaissance Fair. Or lastly, the historic town of Snow Hill, Maryland beckons us to attend the Renaissance Fair at Furnace Town. We close out the festivals beginning in September as we journey to the Idaho Renaissance Fair in Garden City, Idaho, where we can experience a taste of the Italian Renaissance. This festival is open for 2 weekends, September 28th through October 6th. That wraps up this episode of Coffee Talk with King Francois I. I do hope you enjoyed this informative segment. To find out more about the festivals mentioned, check out their links in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee Talk with King Francois I. A bientôt, see you soon, ciao for now, and au revoir.